T-Bird fans, we welcome you to a brand new edition of T-Bird Talk. I'm Cloud County Community College Sports Information Director, Toby Nosker. On this week's edition of T-Bird Talk, we'll talk to two members of the Cloud County Community College softball team, sophomore pitcher Brecken Whitney from Clearwater, Kansas, and sophomore pitcher Paige Mahler of Adams, Nebraska. The Cloud County Community College softball team will open Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference play today as they head to Coffeyville, Kansas, in a matchup against the Coffeyville Red Ravens. Last weekend, the T-Birds picked up a home series win over the Northeast Community College Hawks, winning 3 of 4 games played over the weekend. Cloud County was then on the road Tuesday as they traveled to Beatrice, Nebraska for a pair of non-conference games against the Southeast Community College Bobcats. The T-Birds rested both starting pitchers Whitney and Mahler, dropping the opener 8-0 and the nightcap 6-3. Cloud County was limited to 5 hits, all of them singles in Game 1. Freshman Emily Johnson, getting her first start of the season at third base, led the T-Birds offense, going 2 for 2 at the plate. Sophomore Harley Smith, sophomore Shaylee Kessler, and freshman Malia Coster had 1 hit each. Cloud County was the first team on the board in Game 2. Sophomore Maddie McIntyre led off the top of the third with a base hit, while freshman Berkeley Curtis followed with a double. Freshman Bella Santon then brought both McIntyre and Curtis home on a 2 RBI single to put the T-Birds ahead 2-0. Southeast took control in the bottom of the 4th inning, scoring 3 runs on 5 hits. The Bobcats added 3 more runs in the 5th when sophomore Sydney Nichols delivered a 2 RBI double before scoring on an RBI groundout by Tyra Martin to grab a 6-2 lead. The T-Birds managed to get a run back in the 7th when Santon scored on a throwing error after reaching on a 2-out single, but freshman pitcher Emerson Becker was able to get Smith to pop out to end the game. Santon went 3 for 4 with run scored and 2 RBIs. Curtis, McIntyre, Smith, and Johnson had 1 hit each. Cloud County opens Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference play today as they head to Coffeyville to face the Red Ravens. Coffeyville is 5-13 on the season and snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 15-7 home win over Connor State College on Tuesday. First pitch of today's game is scheduled for 1 p.m. at Byers Field in Coffeyville. Coming up next, we will visit with Cloud County Community College sophomores Brecken Whitney and Paige Mahler. This is T-Bird Talk.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
This week on T-Bird Talk, an opportunity to visit with 2 sophomore members of the Cloud County Community College softball team, both of them pitchers. Joining us, we have Paige Mahler as well as Brecken Whitney. And I want to thank you both for taking time to come on and to visit with us. And I want to talk about the softball season and how it's going. But Paige, before we get into that, let me start with you. So where did you grow up?
I'm from Adams, Nebraska, which is a small town, 30 minutes southeast of Lincoln, and I played 3 sports in high school, and then I ended up coming to Cloud to continue my softball career.
Tell me a little bit about the conversation with Cloud, and ultimately, how did you end up here at Cloud County?
Yeah, so I got recruited by John Kelly, who was here a couple years ago, and I just really fell in love with the school because I knew I wanted to go somewhere that was small because I came from a small town, and I knew I wouldn't adjust well to going to somewhere that was big, and I wanted to be kind of close to home because I have 2 younger siblings and I wanted to be able to go to their activities. And I came and I toured Cloud and I went to a couple camps, and I just fell in love with the people here and the college, and I knew I could play softball here and still be able to go to my siblings' activities. You
mentioned that you had been involved in 3 sports. What all did you compete in high school? And then tell me about the love of softball and why you decided to pursue that then collegiately.
I did basketball and track in high school as well, and I did them just because I played them growing up, and when you're in a small school, you kind of have to do all the sports if you want them to keep going. And I really loved competing with my teammates, but I played softball my entire life, and I played it in the summer, and it was just something that I really loved. I liked competing with other people, but then like also as a pitcher, it's kind of like you can push yourself a little bit more like individually. And I just love competing with the team, and that's kind of why I chose to keep playing softball in college instead of doing basketball or track.
You pitch, you also split time at first base. Did you grow up playing those positions?
In high school, I only played pitcher. I never hit or played first base really. So it's kind of an adjustment coming to college because I didn't know if I was only going to be a pitcher or if I was going to play first base too. And I didn't hit last year, but this year TJ has given me the opportunity to hit, which I'm like really grateful for since I didn't get a hit in high school or last year, and it's given me an opportunity to prove myself. But I love playing pitcher and first base.
So you have the conversations with Coach Kelly at the time and make the decision to come here to Cloud. We'll talk about softball specifically, but I guess overall, just the experience living here on your own for the first time in college, making the transition academically to college and then athletically. What's the overall experience been like for you here at Cloud?
I really love Cloud. I had a hard time adjusting first last year to being away from my family just because I didn't know anybody when I came here. But after a while, I really settled in, and I got along with a lot of the girls, especially Brecken. I love Brecken. I just love being here, and everybody's super welcoming, and if you have a problem, people kind of get to know you and like know who you are and how you act, and if you have an off day, they ask you what's going on and how they can help you. And like it's not too different from my high school. My high school was like academically like challenging, so I had like an easier time adjusting to the academics here. I had a couple like harder classes like chemistry, but it's been really good, and all the teachers are really helpful, and they really want you to succeed.
Brecken, tell me where you grew up.
I grew up in Clearwater, Kansas, which is about 20 or 30 minutes south of Wichita.
Tell me about pursuing softball post-high school. At what point did you kind of think maybe this is something I could do, and then when did you start having conversations with coaches?
I think I was in high school when I decided that I had the interest to play at collegiate level. My pitching coach, Michelle Brewster, I went to her for more than a decade, and she knew John Kelly, who was the one that recruited me here to Cloud, and I reached out to him, and it was my junior year of high school that I threw a 5-inning no-hitter against Andale, and he read an article about me, and that's what gave me this offer and opportunity here.
Did you grow up playing other sports?
I did. I was also in several things when I was younger. I was in competitive dance, I was in cheer, I did do karate and basketball.
What was it about softball, though, that it became a love and a passion for you?
Softball has always been my number one thing from when I was 3 years old. I started pitching at the age of 8. It's just always been my passion. I feel so strong and confident on the mound. It's just always been my thing.
What's the overall experience been like here for you at Cloud? Not just from a softball perspective, but again, you guys making this journey out on your own for the very first time, becoming adults, still students though, going through your academics here at Cloud, and then of course being student athletes. I know that softball is a huge commitment, probably much bigger than what it was at the high school level. So what has the overall experience been like for you?
Cloud has been an amazing place. It reminds me a lot of my small town that I grew up in. It's small here at Cloud, which I love. It's amazing professors that want to help you with everything they can. It's small classes. There's not a whole lot of students that makes it difficult to get a hold of your professors. I'm very thankful for Coach TJ and Coach Mo. They make it very enjoyable here. And obviously I love all the surrounding friends and classmates and teammates. Everyone's very nice here.
I know it's probably been a challenge in some regards. You both mentioned being recruited by Coach Kelly, and then Coach Kelly leaves. You have a different coach for your freshman year, and then another coaching change with Coach TJ Sagabart, and now assistant coach Morgan Russell joining the program this year. And so I'm sure a roller coaster of emotions at times and a lot of transition that you've had to go through. But Brecken, you mentioned you like the coaches that you're playing for right now. What's it like being around TJ and Mo? And talk a little bit about the transition, and how do you feel like everybody's doing underneath that transition, making that move to the two new coaches this season?
This transition has made a whole new climate change here. There's so much more attitude and effort and positivity this year. Everyone's playing for not only themselves but for each other. They're playing for the coaches. We want to build the culture and climate here for Cloud softball. It's really been a great start, and I'm more than excited to see where conference takes us. I know that we're going to flip a change here at Cloud.
Paige, for you, talk a little bit about what the transition has been like, and what's it been like for you working now with another new coach in Coach Sagabart and assistant coach Russell?
I think, like, from the girls last year, we've all adjusted well. Coach TJ came and helped us a little bit last year, so we kind of already knew who he was when he got hired as the head coach this year, and he brought in Morgan. And I think a lot of the pitchers and the catchers really like Morgan. She helps us, and it's when we have individuals with her, it's for you and like what you need. And if you have a question, she knows how to answer it right away, and it can help you adjust really well so you can throw well in the game, or even you can help your other teammates. Like Emily and Camille always help me out on my pitching if something's like not working right, if my ball's not breaking right. They help, and I think Coach Mel has also played a part into that as well.
Was there any consideration of not coming back, or did you like, knowing Coach Sagabart, having a little bit of experience with him last year? Were you pretty excited to hear that he was going to take over, and you were like, yeah, I want to play underneath him?
Yeah, I knew I was coming back last year, and I was really excited when TJ got hired, just because we knew him from last year, and we knew that he would push us and make us a better version of ourselves, both on and off the field. And it was just a really good opportunity for him to be hired, and he's really changed the culture around here, and we all work really hard, and we work for each other, like Brecken had mentioned earlier.
And Brecken, Paige was talking about Morgan Russell, again, the assistant coach, somebody who has collegiate softball experience and was a pitcher, so she can work directly with you all. What's that like, having access to somebody like that, and what has she been like to work with this season?
Coach Mo has helped me tremendously, and she has definitely helped me grow with my pitching since last year. I've actually gained even 5 mile an hour faster on my fastball because of Mo. What she's changed for me, she works directly for you. She just knows what to change. She knows what to do.
As I said, I know it was a roller coaster of emotions, I'm sure, last year. For your freshman season, kind of tell me a little bit about what it was like making that transition from high school to college, and how did you feel like just you personally fared in the time that you got in the circle and the opportunities you were given a year ago?
I will say last year, the sophomores, they really helped me adjust to the collegiate level. I don't think it was too difficult to transition from high school to collegiate level, just because of the fact I went to state both my junior and senior year in high school. So I already saw a lot of competition at that high level of 4A here in Kansas. It was difficult at first, I guess. It was a little bit of shock when I got to college, but with the help from all of my teammates, and especially this year with Coach Mo, she's helped me gain lots of confidence on the mound.
As I mentioned, it being more of a commitment, though, at the college level than high school. Obviously, you have fall ball, and then you've got, your workouts that you're doing in the off season before you get into the spring. It sounds like both of you were fairly competitive in all the activities and sports you were doing already. But has it been neat to kind of devote all that time, Brecken, to just softball? You're focusing just on this one sport and making yourself better at this one thing?
Yes, I honestly have loved it. It is a lot of work, but it's easy to push yourself when you have amazing teammates and coaches that are helping you push yourself too.
Paige, for you, how did you feel like you did first year out and making that transition and that leap from high school to college?
Yeah, first it was kind of an adjustment just because one of my coaches told me all D1 pitchers go D1, but not all D1 hitters go D1. So you face some really good competition, especially at Johnson. They're really good. So you just have to focus more on spinning the ball and hitting the edges, which is not something a lot of people sometimes focus on in high school, especially if you don't go to a really big school. So you just have to spend more time on your own, competing with yourself and competing with others, and your teammates will help you. And especially the sophomores last year, they kind of help you figure out the new zone and figure out how to adjust to hitters. And Mo this year has been great with calling pitches and keeping the hitters off balanced.
What kind of expectations did Coach Sagabart have for you guys coming into the year, and maybe even just from a leadership perspective? You'd been through it once, right? So the returning sophomores as a whole, was there certain things that he asked of you all as far as having to step into leadership roles and provide guidance to all the newcomers into the program this year?
He expected us to be good leaders and be welcoming and not have certain attitudes to other people, and just be good teammates and make sure that everybody feels welcomed here, because it's an adjustment for everybody. Especially even though we were here last year, it's still an adjustment since we have 2 new coaches, and it can be a big adjustment from living at home to coming to living at school. And he just wanted us to be good teammates all the time, and if somebody's down, to pick them up and just be good teammates and not have cliques or anything, just have everybody get along all the time.
Brecken, is that a role that you're comfortable in, being a leader?
I honestly love that me and Paige get to be the captains of this team. We were voted, I think, back in December to be the captains, and it's been great ever since.
How do you feel like the young players, the new freshmen, the new faces, and how do you feel like they have adjusted and are competing at this stage?
I think they have all done amazing. I'm proud in each and every one of them. From adjusting to high school and college, we've kept our grades up pretty well. I'm proud of them all. We're all there for each other. We support each other. We help each other in whatever classes is needed. So not only just on the field do we have each other's backs, but also when it comes to being a student.
Let's kind of talk a little bit about how the season has gone. You're getting ready to head into conference action. It starts Thursday, as you guys will make a road trip to Coffeyville to match up with the Coffeyville Red Ravens. And then Saturday, you're going to take on a ranked team in Kansas City, Kansas, who's going to come to the Cloud County Community College softball field. So certainly some tough competition ahead. But in the non-conference to start, Brecken, just kind of give me an overall sense. How do you feel like you guys have played in the early part of the year?
I will say, I feel like there were a few games at the beginning of the season that we would just have one rough inning that would lose us the game. But going into conference, I think that we have learned from our preseason. I think we know what it's going to take this year for conference to really make a change here for the Cloud softball and the culture in our name.
What's kind of your approach when you get the opportunity to start? What's kind of your mindset? Are you strictly focused on, hey, I need to get this batter and this batter at home? Do you feel like you have to strike them out, or do you feel like you can trust your defense? How do you mentally view things and approach things when you get out there on the field?
Out there on the mound, I really do believe in myself. I've always been a spin pitcher rather than a speedy pitcher, and that's okay because this team, I have a defense behind me that works very hard. They're diving for balls. They give all effort. I know I have a team behind me that I can count on, that I can produce pop-ups, produce little grounders that'll get the job done. And we also, we do have bats, and we can get those runs back.
And I feel like watching you both last year and this year, maybe last year, and not just you specifically, but others too, that, a little thing could spiral out of control and all of a sudden it could become a much bigger problem, where I feel like if something goes wrong, you guys collectively as a group, but even you as a pitcher, it feels like you're able to kind of refocus, put that past you, and focus on the next batter as you need to. Do you feel that way?
Yes, past is in the past. I get behind the mound. I brush my hand through the dirt. That's what clears my mind. I gain my confidence back. I get back on the mound. It's a new batter. It's a new start. We're going to get this one out.
Paige, for you, what's kind of your mindset and approach when you step out there? Kind of what's going through your mind? What are you focused on as you step in the circle?
I'm just focused on doing good and hitting my spots and making sure that my spin. And if I miss a spot or my spin doesn't break how I want it to break and they get hit, I know my teammates can back me up. And even if we do make an error, we don't let it snowball, and we try and turn the next play, and we just let it go so it doesn't turn into a big snowball. And I just try and focus hard on doing my spots. And if somebody makes an error, I don't let it affect me. And if I'm having a rough at bat, Morgan or Emily will tell me to do 5 big bunny hops, which kind of clears my mind and gets me reset for the batter.
Let's talk a little bit about the relationship with your catchers. And for you, Paige, this season, you've had Camille Stauffer, a returning sophomore that's been catching for you behind the plate. Tell me about that relationship between you and Camille, and how special is it?
I love Camille. She always encourages me to do my best, and she really pumps me up behind the plate. Like if we get a strikeout, we're hyping each other up. If I don't hit a spot, she doesn't make it a big deal. She wants me to come back and get the next pitch. If I am batting and I have a bad at bat, she'll tell me to keep my head up. And if I ask her for advice on like hitting or even with my pitching, she'll give me some advice, and it's good advice that helps me do good. And she always encourages me to be the best person I am, both on and off the mound. And even with the same with Brecken and Emily, they really push us and encourage us, especially if our pitch isn't working for some reason. They'll find ways to correct us, and I'd love having them both behind the plate.
Brecken, you're working with a new catcher this year in Emily Johnson, somebody who I got to cover, local product out of Concordia High School in Concordia, Kansas. She's played some at first, even saw her play third base earlier this week, and but primarily she's been your catcher. So talk about working with a new catcher this year, and what's it like working with Emily?
I absolutely love Emily. She always hypes me up. She always has my back. I feel so confident on the mound when she's behind the plate. With being a spin pitcher, obviously it's not always going to be right there in the strike zone, and she does everything she can to frame my pitches. Lots of the strikes I've had have definitely been thanks to helps to her glove. Emily will always hype me up, and something I love that Emily does, whenever I have a first pitch strike, she'll always say, I love that, keep it upbeat. Like, she loves first pitch strike, and it means a lot to me. She always hypes me up. She does everything she can to help me.
You two carry a lot of the pressure. The pitcher's almost the quarterback, right? You're the one that's always got the ball. And I mentioned this with Coach Segarbart a couple of weeks ago when he joined us on the podcast, and he talked about how he felt like you two were capable and ready to take on that leadership position, and felt like if you have to, you'll throw until the arm falls off. Going in that you're probably going to be pitching all 7 innings if the game goes 7 innings. Brecken, what's that like? And do you like having that kind of pressure on your shoulders? Does it become too much? The pitching depth's something I know that the team's working on. We saw some other girls get an opportunity to throw earlier this week at Southeast to give you two some rest, which you haven't had to this point. But does it matter to you? Are you willing to, hey, give me the ball, I want to be out there?
I am more than honored. I want that ball. I want to do everything I can for this team. Once again, I really want to turn this Cloud program around. And if that takes me throwing 7 innings every game, I will. I'll give it everything I've got.
Paige, for you, what's it like having that pressure and knowing that they're expecting me to go the distance every single time I'm out there?
I don't really feel a lot of pressure. Pressure is a privilege. So I don't really feel stressed or like worked up when I'm on the mound, especially Coach Mel always hypes me up, and so do my catchers. And I know my infield has my back, and I know if they make an error, it's not that big of a deal. I know that everybody has got my back, and diamonds are made under pressure is what my high school basketball coach always told me. And so I just have really thrived under that. I've dealt with a lot of pressure situations in high school softball and basketball and even in track. So it's just really shaped my mindset that like not everybody gets to feel this type of pressure, especially as a pitcher. Like the pressure to be a pitcher is a privilege, and not everybody sometimes has what it takes to be able to have that mindset.
What's the goals for you this season, whether as a team or individually?
I would really love for us to like make it to the conference tournament, and even if we don't, just to have a good season. Like I don't want to have anybody have like bad attitudes or things like that. I want all of us to get along and be great teammates towards each other. And even for next year, like I won't be here next year, neither will Brecken, but we want the freshmen this year to be able to keep the culture that we've been creating this year for next year. And I would just love to be able to have a good season and have good at bats and improve my batting, since I didn't get the opportunity in high school or even last year.
Paige, what are you majoring in, and what are the plans next year?
I'm majoring in animal science, and I want to do animal nutrition. I plan to go to a 4-year university next year to keep majoring in animal science and play softball somewhere.
Brecken, what's the goals this year, either personally or for the team as a whole, whichever you prefer? What are the goals?
I was more than blessed to have this opportunity to come back this year and to play for Coach TJ and Coach Mo for it to be my final year. And as of right now, I'm very happy with how it's going. I'm loving the bonds I have with my teammates and with my coaches. And here at Cloud, it's just an amazing school. And my goal is really just to enjoy this last season of being on the mound. I want to soak in every last moment as being a pitcher for the last decade of my life. I want to absorb it all. I want to give it everything I have for conference starting this Thursday, and I want to get some wins up there, but it's not just about winning, and I just really hope we can turn this program around for Cloud, and I know that Coach TJ and Coach Mel will take it a long ways.
What are you majoring in? What are your plans if you're not playing next year?
I am majoring in nursing. I actually did have a coach that was interested in me to come play at a 4-year, and I just had to explain to him that nursing is where my life's taking me right now, and it's not easy to be in a nursing program and softball at the same time. But, I'm actually accepted into nursing at Hutch College next year, so that's where I'll be at.
Very good. Well, I want to wrap up with what I call my final 4 questions. So I will ask each of you 4 questions, and it'll be the final one. Some might relate to softball, some might not, but I just kind of want to throw these out at you. But Paige, picking up on something you were saying early on, and didn't really get a chance to hit. High school, even last year, you're getting an opportunity to do so this year. But is there a position, softball-wise, that you've never been able to play, that you've always thought that you wanted to try, or you want to play? What would be that position?
I want to be a catcher so bad. I would give up pitching to be a catcher. And whenever I have the opportunity in a bullpen to catch somebody, I take it. Like if somebody's like, oh, I need to warm up, I'm like, I'll catch you. Like I want to catch you. And TJ knows that I want to catch, and so does Mo, but they don't let me. But I would love to be a catcher. My parents told me that I cannot be a catcher because I was too clumsy, which is ironic because they let both my younger siblings be catchers. But I would really love to be a catcher.
Brecken, is there a position you've never been able to do or you've never been able to try that you'd like to give a shot?
No, honestly. When I was little, I always got to watch my cousin play softball. She was a pitcher, and I really just looked up to that. I've always wanted to be a pitcher, and so I'm living my dream of getting to be a pitcher at the college level.
Question 2 then. And you're kind of unique. You end up most often throwing game 2. So you sit back, you watch everything that happens, first game out. How do you mentally prepare then for game 2 and your opportunity? How do you stay locked in, focused? What's your game day routine to be able to get yourself ready?
Well, obviously, I'm always supporting my bestie Paige over here who starts game 1, so I'm always chanting her on. But usually in between innings, I'm always warming up. I take the full game 1 to warm up and go through my full warm up in the bullpen. And just getting to see them play game 1, I kind of get to prepare what it's going to be like for game 2. And I just really get to lock in and mentally focus.
Paige, going out there, game 1, you're going to be the first one that they see. You're going to be the first one to see their batters. How do you get yourself ready? What's your routine? How do you get mentally locked in for a game?
So when we have an away game, I like to listen to some music before. I usually listen to either my hitting walkout song or my pitching walkout song. And then when I'm on the mound, I like to drag like a little S shape with my foot. It kind of helps me like calm down and like just be locked in. And if I'm like having a bad like pitch or a bad at bat, they make me do 5 bunny hops, which is a really good like reset routine for me. And everybody has their own reset routine, but that really helps me lock in. And then we usually have conversations in between innings, and we adjust, and that really helps me stay locked in. And I like to like do some visualization just so I can see what I'm doing, and it helps me become more confident on the mound too.
I know you both have had pretty supportive families that have helped support you in your career and getting you to this place. Paige, what role has your family played in helping you get to where you're at today?
Yeah, my family has played a big role. They sacrificed a lot for me and a lot of money and time. I have 2 younger siblings, and they both play sports, and my brother is currently playing college football at Concordia University in Seward. So the fall was extremely busy for them. Sometimes they would be able to make it to my games, and sometimes they wouldn't because they would be with my brother or my sister playing softball. So they've spent a lot of time, and whenever they have the opportunity, they come down. They even drove down to Oklahoma to come and watch us and stay the night. And I'm really glad that they can come and support me still, which is one of the huge reasons why I chose to come to Cloud, because it's not too far away from home, and my parents can still come and watch me and support me. and support my siblings too.
Brecken, for you, what's it been like having your family involved? How supportive have they been?
I am beyond thankful for my family. I honestly don't know what I would do without them. I wouldn't be where I am without them. They supported me throughout my whole childhood of being at the ballparks every weekend for tournaments, and my dad sitting on the bucket catching me at every pitching lesson, and my mom, she's a nurse, and my dad is a firefighter, so it's always tough. Like, they have tough schedules to work around my schedule, but they do it anyways, and there's always one of them or both of them at every game, and I'm just beyond thankful for their support.
Final question. If you could describe this team using just one word, what would that word be?
I would say dedicated, because we always come in and want to work hard. We come into practice and we know we have to get the job done, and if we don't have a good practice, then we just have to work harder the next day. And a lot of the girls come into the indoor and work on their own or ask for individuals so they can get better, and everybody just wants to get better and spend a lot of time on the field just getting better, because a lot of them also want to go on and play at the next level after Cloud. So I would say the best word to describe us as a whole is dedicated.
Brecken, for you, what word would you use to describe this team?
There's so many words going through my head right now, I'm not going to lie, but the one that's really standing out to me most is strong. I know that we're very strong for each other. We're willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what the battle is, that we want to fight through it together and for each other.
All right, I lied, and I do this a lot. I say I'm going to ask the final 4 questions. That's going to be your last question, and then I always throw in one more. But I have to ask, because you're both sophomores, and it seems like the season just started. In less than 2 months, college is going to be over. Your time here at Cloud is going to be done. And so in regards to that, Paige, first, what are you going to miss the most just about Cloud County?
I'm going to miss a lot about Cloud. I really love it here. I think I'm going to miss the most is probably my friends and the coaches. They have made a world of a difference for me here, especially from last year to this year. I love having Coach TJ and Coach Mo. I'll probably never find another pair of coaches like them. They want you to get better, but they also want to help you on and off the field. And they've just really made a big impact on me and my ability as a player and just who I am as a person, especially my friends here. I've clicked with everybody really well. I love hanging out with them. I love everything about this school.
Brecken, for you, what are you going to miss about Cloud County?
There's so much I'm going to miss. My teammates especially. I love the bond that I've created with all of them, and my coaches. I am so beyond thankful for Coach Mo and Coach TJ for giving me a second chance to end on a good season, and I know that I will. Coach Mo, she's helped me so much in pitching. I've only been with her for less than a year, and she's tremendously changed me, and she's really helped me gain confidence out there on the mound. So I really want to thank her for that and all the time that she's helped me. And TJ, he really is going to turn this program around. I know he is. I really believe in him. He's going to do amazing things for Cloud softball, and I really thank Cloud for letting me have my final chance to be on the mound at college level. I wouldn't have got that opportunity without Cloud giving me this chance, and so that's one of the number one things I'm going to miss about Cloud is just my spot as a pitcher on the mound. It's something I've loved for more than a decade. I'm really going to miss everything about Cloud. It's sad to say.
Well, you two are playing a huge part in laying that foundation for the future of this program, and I want to wish you the best of luck as we begin conference play, and as you guys make your way through the rest of the season, and then certainly in what you do beyond Cloud County. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Are you a Kansas or Nebraska high school senior who's thinking about your next steps after high school? If so, you qualify for Cloud County Community College's $500 Early Bird Scholarship. All you have to do is visit campus before December 13th and have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and you get a $500 scholarship guaranteed. So come visit Cloud and see why our students are Cloud proud. On your visit, you'll see our campus, meet with an academic advisor, and get a chance to have all your questions answered. Set up your campus visit today by giving us a call at 800-729-5101 extension 212 or visiting us online at cloud.edu/admissions.
My thanks to Cloud County Community College sophomore pitchers Paige Mahler and Brecken Whitney for being our guests this week on T-Bird Talk. The T-Birds softball team is opening Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference play today as they head to Coffeyville to face the Coffeyville Red Ravens. Coffeyville enters the matchup at 5-13 on the season. The T-Birds, meanwhile, are 8-12 on the year. First pitch of today's game is set for 1 p.m. from Byers Field in Coffeyville. The Clyde County softball team is then back in action at home this Saturday as they will host a top 25 team, the Johnson County Community College Cavaliers, for a Jayhawk Conference doubleheader. First pitch of Saturday's game is scheduled for 1 p.m. at the Clyde County Community College softball field, and we will stream the contest live for you on the T-Bird Sports Network. Today on the T-Bird Sports Network, we'll have Clyde County Community College baseball action as the T-Birds, 20-9 on the season, are at home to begin a Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference series with the Saints of Seward County Community College. Seward County is currently 14-17 overall and 1-7 in conference play. First pitch of today's game is set for 1 p.m. at Lee Doyen Field in the Concordia Sports Complex. Live coverage of the game, again, can be found on the T-Bird Sports Network. The Clyde County Community College women's and men's track and field programs got their outdoor season underway with a limited squad competing at the Bethel College Invitational on March 22nd. Clyde County freshman Andrew Bowman has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Outdoor Men's Field Athlete of the Week. In his first outdoor competition of the 2025 season, Bowman finished second in the javelin at the Bethel College Invite with a national qualifying mark of 60.81 meters. Bowman, a native of Buckland, Kansas, was one of 3 T-Birds to have a strong showing in javelin at the meet. Freshman Braylon Biddle was 7th overall in the javelin with a throw of 50.03 meters, while freshman DJ Hallman was 9th overall at a mark of 47.27 meters. On the women's side, Clyde County Community College sophomore Margarita Sala has been named the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference Outdoor Women's Field Athlete of the Week. Sala recorded a national qualifying mark in the hammer throw by placing 3rd overall at the Bethel College Invite with a throw of 45.72 meters. Sala was one of 3 T-Birds to place in the top 10 in the hammer throw. Sophomore Vivica Addison finished in 7th place in the hammer throw with a throw of 36.43 meters, while freshman Piper Camp placed 10th individually with a throw of 33.25 meters. Sala, a native of Italy, also added a 9th place finish in the discus at the Bethel College Invite with a toss of 34.95 meters. Now, both Clyde County track and field teams are scheduled to compete at the 2025 Mark A. Phillips Invitational, hosted by Cali College at the Mark A. Phillips Track Complex in Ark City this Saturday. Field events will begin at 11 a.m., while track events will start at noon. Of course, you can keep on top of all T-Bird athletics by checking out the Clyde County Community College athletic website at cloudtbirds.com. We'll be talking more T-Bird track and field, baseball, and softball in the weeks to come. New episodes of T-Bird Talk drop each Thursday, so make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. T-Bird Talk is a production of the Clyde County Community College Athletic Department.